Precisely 1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The primary sections of all government schools across the island reopens for academic activities today. Students and teachers have turned up at schools largely. The government is ready to manage the tourism activities in the Lanka-Gama area systematically. Sri Lanka receives another batch of Pfizer vaccines. More than 60 trains have been deployed for operations today. News overseas, Japan's ruling party loses one of two upper house by-elections. We move on to local news in detail now. The primary sections of all government schools across the island reopened for academic activities today, 6 months after schools were closed due to the uptick in COVID-19 cases and deaths. According to reports, students have turned up in numbers as primary schools and primary sections of schools were reopened, while teachers have also largely reported back to duty. Shramadana campaigns were also conducted in several schools yesterday before the commencement of schools. Zonal Education Director Srilal Nonis told SLBC that the overall arrival of the teachers in the Western Province was at 82%. Schools' activities are being conducted according to health guidelines. The students will be allowed to come to school in appropriate attire if they are unable to wear their uniforms, and wearing shoes will not be compulsory. The principals told SLBC that the arrival of primary students in main schools in Anuradhapura town is satisfactory. The government is ready to manage the tourism activities in the Lanka-Gama area systematically. More local and foreign tourists are arriving at this place. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said this area will be developed as a tourist attraction destination. A program to develop the tourism industry in the Galle and Matara districts have already commenced. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news. We continue with more stories here at home. More than 60 trains have been deployed for operation from this morning. Several trains from Galle have arrived in Colombo. Season tickets will not be issued. Only the persons who have obtained season tickets for August can travel. The General Manager of Railways, Dhammika Jayasundara, said that school children can use their old season tickets for travelling. Minister Udaya Gammampila says that there is no fuel shortage in the country and there is no idea to increase the fuel prices of CPETCO. Most of the countries in the world have increased the prices of fuel when the world fuel prices are currently high. He also stated that the fuel prices will not be increased again as they feel the pressure of the people. He made these remarks after the parliamentarian group meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat office yesterday. Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara said that a relief package will be provided to the low-income families in the future. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Sri Lanka Pharmaceuticals Corporation General Manager Dinusha Dasanayaka says that another batch of 305,370 doses of Pfizer vaccine manufactured in the US was brought to the country this morning. The vaccines were packed in 53 cartons weighing 1,818 kilograms, he said. The cargo was stored at the Katunayaka Airport Cargo Village freezer facility and subsequently transferred to the State Pharmaceutical Corporation Central Warehouse in Colombo by the corporation's freezer trucks.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watch Live.
The passengers complained that although some trains are being operated in the western province, the railway stations have not cleaned the trains. The passengers could not sit on the seats as they are polluted. This situation was mostly witnessed at coastal line railway stations.
World News.
World News headlines: Japan's ruling party loses one of two upper house by-elections. The Chinese president hails restoration of PRC's rights in UN 50 years ago as a victory. Colombian drug lord Otto Neal to be extradited to US. World News in detail. Japan's main ruling Liberal Democratic Party has lost one of the two upper house by-elections, but it won the other and will retain that seat. The by-elections took place in the Yamaguchi and Shizuoka constituencies yesterday. They were held because two LDP lawmakers resigned. With just a week to go before the lower house election on the 31st of October, the by-elections were widely seen as bellwethers. In the Shizuoka constituency, an independent candidate, Yamazaki Shinnosuke, won with 650,789 votes. He defeated the LDP's Wakabayashi Yohei, who received 602,780 votes. Chinese President Xi Jinping today hailed the restoration of all the rights of the People's Republic of China in the United Nations 50 years ago as a victory of the Chinese people and the people from all countries around the world. Xi made the remarks in Beijing at a commemorative meeting marking the 50th anniversary of the restoration of the PRC's lawful seat in the UN. Finally, on World News, Colombia has announced that the country's most wanted drug trafficker will be extradited to the US after he was captured in a raid. Dairo Antonio Usuga, known as Otto Neal, was seized after a joint Army, Air Force and police operation on Saturday. He led the country's largest criminal gang and has been on the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency's most wanted list for years. U.S. officials had placed a $5 million bounty on his head. They accused him of importing at least 73 metric tons of cocaine into the country between 2003 and 2014. That's World News.
And now in development news.
A project to construct cultivation wells in 40 ancient tank villages in the Ruhunu-Magampura area is being implemented. These wells will be constructed based on Suhuru Irrigational Agricultural Project. 300,000 rupees is to be spent on the construction of each well.
Sports News.
And on sports news, Bhanuka Rajapaksa says that Mahesh Theekshana, who was subjected for minor injury, will play with Australia on the 28th of this month. He said this at a media briefing held yesterday after the match with Bangladesh. He said a decision was taken to add 4 fast bowlers for yesterday's match. Sri Lanka has secured the second place of the first part of the T20 World Championship Cricket Tournament. The run rate at the table point is at 5.8 with yesterday's winning match. In the meantime, the BCCI is set for a windfall of gigantic proportions as the IPL broadcast rights TV and digital could fetch the board up to $5 billion for the next 5-year cycle, which is between 2023 and 2027, while some high-profile interest has been seen in the bidding process of the 2 new teams. That's on Sports News.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The government plans to convert Trincomalee Port to a mega industrial port city that will house ship repairs and shipbuilding, a petroleum refinery, fertilizer manufacturing, steel and mineral sand industries, and biomass storage facilities. There is an extent of 2,000 acres of land available for the development of these mega industries, and the government intends to make Trincomalee a hub for top-heavy industries. That's on Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, it has been reported that the tea production in the country have been increased to 234 million kilogram from January to September this year. According to the data report issued by the Forbes and Workers Company earlier, it was at 201 million kilograms and it has been increased by 14%.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in southern, Sabaragamuwa, central, over, north central and eastern provinces. A few showers will occur in the northern and north central provinces during the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central and Sabaragamuwa provinces during the morning. And that's the weather update. Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, brings Nanasa app, a trilingual educational mobile app for online learning with video-based lessons from grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with the Nanasa app. No subscription fees. Download via Google Play Store, App Store, Huawei Store or Windows. Dialogue, the future today.
Back to the headlines. The primary sections of all government schools across the island reopens for academic activities today. Students and teachers have turned up at schools largely. The government is ready to manage the tourism activities in the Lankagam area systematically. Sri Lanka receives another batch of Pfizer vaccines. More than 60 trains have been deployed for operations today. In world news, Japan's ruling party loses one of two upper house by-elections. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.